The pain in your life will just indicate you that you're being protected, promoted, loved, and perfected, not punished. And you won't lack the commitment because the purpose will be greater than that pain.
Since 1981, Justin has been producing world-class Bordeaux-style wines from Paso Robles on California's Central Coast. As the pioneer of Paso, Justin wines are what put Paso Robles on the winemaking map. The Justin team believes that wine should be exceptional from every angle, which is why their team uses boutique winemaking practices like hand harvesting and hand sorting. With a rich history of accolades, Justin produces exceptional wines and is proud to be America's #1 luxury Cabernet. Whether you're the first-time wine drinker or a wine aficionado, Justin has a wine for every celebration and occasion. Visit justinwine.com and enter promo code PLAYBOOK20 for 20% off your order. Justin offers the perfect holiday gifts for clients, colleagues, friends, or family. Be sure to check them out at justinwine.com to receive 20% off your order for a limited time and use the promo code PLAYBOOK20.
If something resonates with you, meaning you strongly agree or strongly disagree, I encourage you to capture it and be more interested than interesting about it. Capturing what resonates with you is your intelligence and your intuition working in harmony to guide you not only in divine time, but in man-made constructive time, that we work in God's guarantee of 24 hours every single day. God's guarantee that you get 24 hours a day to do your best, to learn lessons, and to have fun every day except for the last day of your life. You'll be cheated. Minutes, seconds, hours, you'll be cheated the last day, but live your life by doing your best, learning lessons, and having fun, by enjoying through the variant behavior that is circumstantial and learning your non-negotiable behavior that's non-circumstantial. And in order to get to the next level, you have to understand what's stopping you from getting to the next level. And I'm here to tell you there's only 2 things stopping you today from getting to the next level. 1, the meaning of the past. You see, most people give a meaning to the past of punishment, of limitation, and that limitation stops you from getting into your divine direction, making all your detours punishment and not allowing for divine time, which is necessary to have commitment for, not mistakes. It'll never be the mistakes that stop you from getting to your divine destiny in divine time and overcoming divine detours to get you to a better place or better. It'll be the lack of commitment that stops you, and the lack of commitment is caused from a meaning of the past, because everything in your past needs to be aligned with where you want to be or better. The mistakes, the failures, the setbacks, the successes, defining moments, historical relevances, whatever it is that's limiting you, change the meaning of your past. And you have the power to do so. Because there's only 2 certainties that exist in the entire universe. The first certainty is what is inside of you. Not what other people think, not what's missing, not what you don't have, not the punishment of the mistakes, failures, setbacks, defining moments, historical relevances of your past, but what exists inside of you is certain. And it's certain that you're part of an infinite, a divine, unified, abundant, more than enough system of intention of what you do, say, think, feel, and believe. And that all exists inside of you. And you have the meaning and you have the power to give the meaning to everything you see. So stop limiting yourself. Change the meaning of your past to align with your divine direction. And then the second certainty, my love language, is time. You see, the mind to the brain is like the time to a clock, and the only certainty that exists outside of us is that God's guarantee, the 24 hours that you're given every day. It's the only thing that's certain. All other circumstances that come upon us every single day is uncertain. You can't predict anything, and you can't tell me what's going to happen tomorrow except for rely on your clock. Meaning, if I told you I was going to be here on stage at 2:00 p.m. Pacific time, and all of you were as OCD as I am about time, and you showed up on time, we would all be here at the exact same time. It's certain. But if I told you, hey, come meet me on stage when you're hungry, or when you're mad, or when you're offended, or when you're sad. If I told you to do any of those things, nobody would be here at the same time, because it's not certain. Circumstances that exist tomorrow are not certain. If they were, especially with WFG, think about how many billions of dollars we could make if we knew tomorrow was certain. Only time is, and the only certainty is inside of you and the meaning that you give it, and you will only be limited by the meaning that you give inside of you, the meaning you give to your past, and your self-image. Your self-image, not just created by wisdom, intelligence, intuition, but inspiration. It is your wisdom and faith that will shorten the distance of resistance that you're creating, the limitations that you're creating from you and the next level that you can be. Your potential, not somebody else's. Stop living in the huge energy gap between I am and this is what I want people to think I am. The reason I put so many goddamn videos out there is I want people to know you're better than me. This is just who I am. I'm just tired of trying to worry about what other people think I am. And guess what? More and more people like you that are like you when I am, and when we're on the same journey trying to figure out what we're doing to interfere with it. What are we doing to interfere with it? So I've created next level practices that I divide up into two types of practice. One is non-negotiable behavior. It makes my life easy because I know that 90% of the progress that I make, the behaviors that I have, are based off of non-negotiable behavior, non-negotiable activity, which is non-circumstantial. So no matter what the weather's like, what the fires are, what my plane trips are, what I eat, or the in-laws being in town, it doesn't matter. It's non-negotiable. And the first non-negotiable behavior I want you to have in order to take it to the next level is your sleep. Look, I used to dream about being as good as Marshall Faulk. I wanted to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but I outdid him. Yeah, I did, because I'm in the Hall of Fame asleep. Hall of Fame asleep. 1/3 of my life. I'll be 100 years old, still in the Hall of Fame asleep, still a Hall of Famer asleep. You can only play football for so long. But you got to make your sleep non-negotiable because you can recover, and everybody knows whether they're Hall of Fame athletes or not, that recovery creates greater performance. And two, you get to access God. You get to access information to utilize at its highest level to reach your potential the next day. The next non-negotiables that I have are my health. So I spend a minimum amount of time, the certainty, the guarantee of God, to spend a minimum amount of time every day on my health. The biggest compliment I got when I was standing outside doing my meetup is, man, you look so good. You look so much more healthy. Yeah, because I'm intentional about the non-negotiable. No matter what the circumstances of today, tomorrow, the next day, I'm going to make sure that I get a minimum of an hour a day on my health. Then my family. Then my faith. Then time. Then relativity. And then my finance. All are non-negotiable, knowing that 2 minutes a day are worth more than 2 hours on a Saturday. When you have non-negotiable behavior, you are consistent, every day, persistent, without quit, in the pursuit of your potential of being part of an infinite, abundant, all-knowing, all-powerful source, an omniscient source. And that's what allows you to get to where you want to be or better. But for me, there's 7 hours of sleep, 3.5 hours of other non-negotiable behavior. That leaves about 13.5 hours of awake time to do what I want, when I want, with who I want, for as long as I want. Anybody want to be free? You want to know what wealth is? It's doing what you want, when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want. That's what freedom is, and that's what wealth is. And if you're non-negotiable about the most important things and make them non-circumstantial, the wealth will come. You got to stop worrying about the commissions and make that your mission, and the commissions will follow. I promise you. But how do we determine what it is that we make negotiable? Because the negotiable behavior, the variant behavior that's according to the circumstances of today, the meaning of the past, in the divine direction of where I want to be or better, is determinative upon a reality of how I'm going to use the other part of the 24 hours. So there's 5 practices for the negotiable behavior that allows us to enjoy the consistency, persistency, and pursuit of our potential. Because if you enjoy what you don't like and don't love, if you enjoy what other people don't like and don't love, and you do it every day without quitting, life will tell you all its secrets. It'll give you its cheat codes. Life becomes easy, not dis-easy. You can live in I am and figure out what I'm doing to interfere with it. What is the dis-ease in my life? Start with the 4 things that keep you alive. Figure out what you're doing with sleep. You don't sleep, you die. Figure out what you're doing with food. You don't eat, you die. Figure out what you're doing with drink. You don't drink, you die. And figure out what you're doing breathing-wise, because if you don't breathe, you're dead. So if you're wondering what I should become an expert at and practice at to get to the next level, start with the things that you need to live. That should make some sense to you and be free. Now, for the rest of the time, figure out what's important to you by asking yourself, according to the circumstances of today, the reality of today, the guarantee of God of 24 hours, minus the non-negotiable behavior, what is it I want today in the divine direction of where I think I want to be or better? Because I'm not certain what's going to happen tomorrow, so I know good behavior will create good progress. Bad behavior interferes with progress. My good behavior may be your bad behavior. Your bad behavior may be my good behavior, depending on where I want to be or better. And so ask yourself, what is it I want? Be intentional, because then you'll know what to do, say, think, feel, and believe towards your divine direction. It also will allow your purpose to be greater than your pain, which means all of the detours in your life, the pain in your life will just indicate you that you're being protected, promoted, loved, and perfected, not punished. And you won't lack the commitment because the purpose will be greater than that pain. And as we work through what we want in the divine direction, we align the meaning of the past to where we want to be or better.
This show is brought to you by BetterHelp. Therapy is a great tool for facing your fears and finding ways to overcome them, because sometimes the scariest thing is not facing our fears in the first place and holding ourselves back. It's helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. It isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Overcome your fears with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/playbook today to get a 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/playbook. Imagine starting a small business, your first customer, first hire, first real paycheck. But everything isn't just exciting, it's scary. That's where JustWorks come in, the all-in-one platform that supports small business growth. Access seamless tools that help with benefits, payroll, HR, and compliance with transparent pricing. It's time to make payroll painless. Run payroll in 90 seconds or less and automate payments so you can set it and forget it. Did you know in 2023 alone, they processed over 25.6 billion in trusted payroll customers? Don't worry about the paperwork piling up either. They take care of payroll tax documents and reporting to help you stay compliant. Visit justworks.com/podcast to join the thousands of small businesses that trust JustWorks to take care of payroll, benefits, compliance, and more. That's justworks.com/podcast.
The second practice of next level is to know your who. Because the fastest way, the reason you're here is because the fastest way to get to where you want to be is to find someone that's already there and ask them for directions. And I've never seen a business that's more conducive to giving you directions to get to where you want to be or better. That's why I hang out with Marshall Falk, Hannah, Tyree, Ed Milet, some of my closest friends, because they're giving me directions to where I want to be or better with wealth, financial wealth, and legacy. The second way to get to where you want to be or better, not only knowing your who can help you get there by asking, but who can you help get to where they want to be? What teams are you playing on, or what position do you want to play in order to help others and be helped yourself? When you know your who, you will create the possibility and probabilities of where you want to be or better. The third next level practice is know your how. Know your how. How am I going to get it done according to the circumstances of today? The meaning of the past aligned with where I want to be or better. How am I going to use that non-negotiable time, and where am I going to put it? And then where do I put my negotiable time in order to facilitate productivity, accessibility, and gratitude? Know your what, possibility, know your who, probability, know your how. You now have a perspective, knowing that you're participating in a perspective of giving meaning to the past to support your divine direction in the future. You're participating in a perspective of protection, promotion, love, and perfection, not punishment. The fourth next level practice is to know your now. So many people outside feel overwhelmed, they procrastinate. It's because they don't know their now. You realize 100% of the things you do now get done. It is the antidote to feeling overwhelmed. It's impossible. If you know what to do now and know what to do next, it's impossible to procrastinate, and it's impossible to feel overwhelmed. And in order to know your now, you need to know what's important to you each day, according to the circumstance, and align the meaning in the divine direction of where I want to be or better. You must know what's important to you each day beyond your non-negotiable behavior. It's the variant behavior that allows you to enjoy it, even though it only creates 10% of your results, compared to the non-negotiable behavior that creates 90% of the results. If you know how to prioritize and know what's important to you by knowing what you want, who you can help, and how to get it done. Prioritization is the antidote to what overwhelms you and allows you to procrastinate. And then the fifth practice to take you to the next level is applying your why. You see, I spent a lot of my life searching for my purpose and my why, even though it was always there inside of me, the certainty of inside of me. So I wanted to be more happy, more healthy, more wealthy, and more worthy, instead of realizing I already am. I spent millions of dollars in personal development. I spent millions of dollars in therapy for all the shit that's happened to me in my life, always wondering, how can I be happy? How can I be wealthy, healthy, worthy? And then I realized I am. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy. I am. All I got to do is look at the instant and obvious, which is the instant and obvious reaction to the fear that I was searching to find, which is omnipresent all the time. Fear is always there. It's how you react to fear, and I want to shorten the distance of the need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful, all of these different ways that we react to fear that not only accelerate us in the wrong direction, but it interferes with who we already are and what we belong to. An infinite, abundant, more than enough world, omniscient and all-powerful, for everything, for everyone, a unified system of intention that we all belong to. And I spent my time searching for what I already had inside of me, my why. So next time you get the instant and obvious feeling of anger, frustration, or worry, or resentful, or guilt, instead of trying to resist it, go over it, under it, through it, around it, stop. Breathe through your nose, out through your mouth. Drop to center, to ease. And then I want you to recollect with the omniscient. I want you to remember your source, your God. No matter what religion, philosophy, spirituality, or theory you belong to, I want you to reconnect, remember. I want you to reconcile with something bigger than you that loves you more than your mom. More than that person we all were elevating our souls with. I want you to remember that if my mind, body, and soul are on fire, and I'm interfering with who I am and what I want to become in alignment with the meaning of the past in a divine direction of the future, when I'm on fire in my mind, body, and soul, I just simply stop, drop, and then roll back into my divine direction by knowing what I want, who I can help, who can help me, how to get it done, and then reprioritize what to do now and what to do next in my divine direction. Allowing every detour along the way to protect, promote, love, and perfect me in order to allow divine time to reveal who I am and what I'm doing to interfere with it. God bless you all. May you take your lives to the next level. I have a couple minutes. I'm going to bring up a friend to ask me one question. I am available to everybody. I'm part of this team. So please email me. It may be up there, david@dmeltzer.com directly. I answer everything myself. Make sure you let me know you're part of our team. I am happy to help you get to where you want to be or better. I got a special friend backstage. I thought I let him. I've known him since he was 19-year-old. We went to the same high school. Everybody, let's stand up for Dan Fleischman.
You told him about the high school thing?
A little bit at the high school thing. I told him you were my big brother in high school.
My one question is, why is it important for everyone in this room to build their personal brand?
Great question. And it's something that when we met each other, we never thought we would have our own personal brands, right? I ran Lee Steinberg. You and I were always that guy. And today we find it really entertaining.
Quick story. 25 years ago, I was 18, 19 years old, and my roommate was Ricky Williams, the running back. And my other roommate was a guy named Darryl Russell, who went to USC and he played here in St. Augustine. And they were both signed with him, the Lee Steinberg's agency. They was a CEO. And so I used to sit there on the couch, I would drive up there with these football players, 18, 19, just looking around, and this guy was the CEO 2 decades ago.
Yeah, and here we are, and I'm learning more from Dan than I ever thought I would. And what I've learned from Dan is building a brand. Building a brand isn't necessarily doing as many videos as Dan and I, hosting events, coaching people, pouring back. It's really one thing, building your community. Building a community of people around you at the same frequency or neighborhood, that you have a bunch of people that resonate at the same values that you do, that are there to help one another and to know people that will help one another. That's what building a brand is. And you can do it in person, you can do it on the phone, you can do it via email, and you can do it via media, traditional still, and social media. But building a brand is building a community, and I will tell you why it's important, because it never will be this inexpensive and easy to build a community as it is today. It will continue to get more expensive and more difficult to build a community of people that are resonating with you, in a neighborhood with you, that will buy from you and sell for you for life. And I promise, if you build a community in whatever mechanism, methodology, or medium you want to, of a community of people that buy from you and sell for you for life, your great-great-great-grandkids will never have to work, I promise you. So if you need help on capturing your essence, modifying it, amplifying it, or perpetuating, creating your social silo, your community, according to who you are and what you want to do in your mission of empowering others to empower others with whatever is important to you, then let's work on building a community of people that are willing to help you and know people that can help you, that will buy from you and sell for you. Because Dan and I, we've been buying from each other and selling for each other. We know more people than most people on earth. We're 1 degree of separation. And to me, that's the greatest asset in the world, is to have a friend like you, Dan, like Marshall, Hannah, Tyree. I appreciate being in this neighborhood. God bless Dan Fleischman. God bless you. Thank you, everybody.